You ready?
I'm ready.
Welcome back to the Daily Carry Podcast, episode number 15 today.
0015.
00015.
Ooh.
Why are you going down in your zeros?
I don't know. I got to go up.
But here we are, and as usual, there has been a lot happened since the last episode. Lots of headlines out there that are unfortunate, can be kind of aggravating, can be upsetting, obviously. But in this episode today, we decided instead of just continuing to talk about shootings and all that's wrong with the world, we'll talk about tactics. We'll talk about some of those things that we like to kind of break down and really make sure that we are breaking down in a way that helps us be prepared in our own life. But we'll continue with that, but on a little bit more of a positive note. Why? Because this Saturday at the Rock Jiu Jitsu team, we have JWI-3, the John Wick Invitational number 3. Anybody out there with Lionsgate or anybody representing intellectual property of John Wick, it's actually just JWI. I do have the trademark for JWI, so there's that. JWI could be Jared Wayne Invitational. That's my middle name. So just covering our bases there. But we have the we have the third installation of JWI this coming Saturday, which I'm very excited about. I know you're excited about.
It's going to be great. I'm really looking forward to it, actually.
This is going to be the wildest that we've done so far.
Yeah.
As far as how many matches we have, the energy that's going to be in the room, the actual music producer for the John Wick movies is going to be here with us that night. He's flying in tomorrow night, and he's going to be here with us over the weekend, and that's just insane to me that, what kind of just started as, hey, let's do a match in suits, has now evolved to the JWI and now an actual person who's involved in the John Wick movies and every single John Wick movie, including the Ballerina movie, writing the music that makes those movies what they are. He's going to be here with us on Saturday.
Dude, when we go back a couple months ago now, and we're like, all right, you ready? We're going to do this podcast thing. You ready? And we're like finishing the setup here and making sure everything's working, kind of dialing it in. 2 months. Has it even been 2 months yet?
I think we're coming close. I don't know if we're at.
I don't think we're quite there. Anyway, within 2 months, we've gone from let's do this to the Invitational's coming to the producer for the music to a conversation I had with a buddy of mine 2 nights ago, and I can't say it yet, but it's another movie-based deal. It's a movie we both love, and it's one of the main 4 characters that was in the movie, based on real life events. We are
pretty sure I know what you're talking about.
We're 92% of the way there, and that is going to be an awesome episode. But the Daily Carry podcast, we got the sheriff coming on, a couple Congress men and women, congressional people coming. We're getting them lined up right now. So if you're just tuning in and you haven't seen this before, we're lining up a good stream of guests with really not just big names, but people that are actually very impactful. I mean, people that are actually in the role doing the deal. So, and we got some other folks that have reached out as well. So, but this Saturday, I said all that to say this, it all started with a dream.
Yeah.
Pursue your stuff, man. Get after it. I woke up this morning and I was driving over in the Jeep and I got the doors off. I was cranked the music up. I threw on a hoodie because it was a little cooler this morning. But man, there's nothing like a Colorado morning when that sun's coming up over the crest and you got the music jamming. And I was just coming down. I was in a really good mood and I was looking forward not only to this podcast, but just this weekend. This is going to be a really cool event. And, some people, a buddy of mine saw it and he's like, dude, is it staged? I'm like, oh, no. What you saw was the guys practicing, doing like warm-ups. It was the video that you threw out where the guys were just kind of gearing up a little bit. And
we like to have fun with it. This is the coolest part about it is that we're a promotion that's approaching everything totally different.
Right.
I don't want to be like everybody else. I don't want to just repeat what everybody else is doing. We have an opportunity. I mean, we're rolling in suits. I mean, how cool is that? Nobody else is rolling
sponsored
with suits.
By the way.
Sponsored suits. X-Suit, shout out to them. They have done an incredible job, and they're very excited about our representation of their brand. And so their sponsorship for our events has been huge. That's definitely taking it to the next level, because now all the athletes that are on the main card, they don't have to worry about going grabbing a suit from a thrift store or whatever that's probably going to rip, or they're going to have not very good circulation, whatever it might be. But we have suits that fit, and then not only suits that fit, but these suits are literally just top of the line, waterproof. They're stretchy, but at the same time super durable. These suits, like, you can. I have said, and I've said before, I'll say again. I would honestly prefer training in one of those suits than most gis that are out there. Most gis,
I heard
like,
2 guys say that
kind of
too.
straight jacket, like, you know.
Yep.
The X suit's just so comfortable, and it's like it feels like it's built to fight in. It's kind of crazy,
Dude. You just straight jacket. What's his name?
Oh, we don't need to.
That was epic. That was so funny.
We don't need to make anybody feel bad here.
No. It was he. Hey, just to clarify, he was laughing. He's like, all my years in jiu-jitsu, I've never been in this position before. That was so funny. Nobody would know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, no, it's because we were playing with the same rule set.
Yeah.
He was trying to take his gi. We were in the gi. We were not in wearing suits, but we were still practicing the same rule set as the suits.
Yeah.
And he was taking his suit top off, his gi top off, and I took mine off faster. And I took him down in the middle of him trying to take his off, so it was stuck around his shoulders.
Yeah.
And then I took him down, and he was kind of just stuck there with his arms pinned by the gi top. That was kind of a funny position to be in.
So it's the same thing in hockey when we drag a jersey over the top of a guy's head.
Yeah.
It ties up their arms, and you just sit there and throttle them. Yeah,
Exactly.
It worked great. It was just so funny when he was laying there going, I'd never been here before.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, but yeah, it's so cool to see all the guys come together and be able to have fun. I was just talking to one of my buddies last night. He just called me, and we were just catching up, and he was talking about, like, he called me. The first thing he said when he called me, he said, gun or knife. And I was like, you saw the interviews, huh? And he said, dude, every one of them, absolutely love it. And I was like, yeah, we're just trying to do something different, you know? I said, I know it's corny. I know it's goofy. It's not like we're trying to be dead serious, but we're trying to just do something that's different, you know? We could definitely sit down and do, like, an actual serious interview style like the UFC's doing and like all the other grappling promotions are doing, but we wanted to make it, like, cinematic in a fun way. And all the guys, I'm telling you, to have a room filled with as much testosterone as we had whenever we had the media day for JWI-3, and we had all these guys coming in here, we were giving out some acting lessons. It was hilarious.
It was funny.
Everybody was just laughing, having a good time, and then I had people saying, man, I'm more nervous to do this interview than I am to do my match.
Yeah.
But everybody just had fun with it, you know? It's just like, make the answers fun. Act like you're a movie star. Act like you are on set. We're saying action. You go and just answer these questions as if you are this bad to the bone assassin or whatever. And they were gigging on it, but if we release the bloopers someday, it'll put a smile on everybody's face because
it'll be funny.
Grown men laughing, having a good time. It was a lot of fun to do those interviews. And the same thing goes for just the regular media that we put together with, like, kind of putting together some fight scenes that are very similar to some of the scenes that you might see, like, in a John Wick movie.
Right.
I know that we are not at that level quite, but we're getting there. I think we're figuring some things out, you know?
But the jiu-jitsu at JWI is real. This isn't.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, this is getting after it. This is
100%.
This is 100. Yeah, you're all in. This is the stuff that was promoing. No, there's some role playing and all that. Guys having fun, but the matches are. That's what makes this so cool. It makes this episode so cool because we can talk about tactics and we can talk about what it's like to get locked up in the real world. Maybe you're in a suit, maybe you're in jeans. It doesn't really matter. But at the end of the day, what does it look like and how do you handle it, especially in this crazy world we're watching going on right now? It's like every time you turn on the news, there's something else happening. So when these guys are down here in the pit, it's full tilt.
Yeah, and that's something that's really important to clarify too, because there was a couple of matches that everybody was like, man, is that regular? The number one that comes to mind is, like, some of the comments on the viral armbar that we had, flying armbar.
Oh, yeah.
Some of them like, this is definitely staged. It's like, no, those guys were talking some mad crap before that match. Like, they wanted to win. Both of them wanted to win. The guy who actually got armbarred, his record before was 1-0. He didn't want to take a loss. Yeah. And then the other guy he was going against, that was his debut. He was 0-0. And
dude, he was so amped when he jumped off. How could anybody call that staged?
There's no way. You see the raw emotion after, you're like, yeah.
The dude that got beat came over and hugged him. He's like, that was epic. Like, I did not see that coming at all.
Yeah.
So no, it was very good.
Whenever we get in there, we're doing jiu-jitsu. And let's just go ahead and say and clarify what the rules, what's different about what we're doing, because you can go on YouTube, you can go on Flow Grappling, you can go on even now UFC. UFC has BJJ. UFC BJJ just recently launched. It's pretty crazy. But what makes us different is, yes, we're rolling in suits, but we also have a very special overtime rule set.
Right.
We want every single match to end with the definitive finish, whether that's a submission or a kill from a weapon.
Right.
And so let's clarify that a little bit further. There's no scoring. There's no judges. You will win by submission or at 4 minutes. At 3 minutes and 30 seconds, there's going to be someone who flips a coin, and that determines whether a simulation gun or a simulation knife gets thrown into the arena. Once that 4 minute mark hits, that weapon's put into the arena, and then the opponents have to fight to that weapon. Now, for this one, we actually refined the overtime of the overtime time even better. If let's say that they're just sitting still and they don't actually go for the weapon. Most everybody goes for the weapon. Why? Because the crowd goes crazy.
Yeah.
Whenever that weapon gets put in there, the crowd's just like, get the gun, get the knife, go, it's in there. And it makes the competitors have every motivation in the world. Oh, I got to put on a show. We got to make this happen. So there hasn't been very many matches that have gone to where it's like, man, we need another overtime. There was just one on the last card, and that was Brian versus Xander.
Yeah.
And everybody was gigging on their match.
They went
the
a long
energy,
time.
The energy in their match was crazy. And, there's some comments online here and there like, man, Brian got robbed of that match. It's like, dude, I don't know. I didn't really know exactly what to do in that scenario because it's supposed to be definitive, right?
Yeah.
And so we gave it to Xander, number one, mostly just because the crowd, we left it up to the crowd that was here live with us. And we're like, all right, who won? And the decibels were definitely a little louder on Xander, unfortunately. Sorry, Brian. But they after watching the footage, though, Brian did get stabbed in the torso. Would he have been able to keep fighting? Maybe. But the rule that we have for the knife is you either stab in the torso or neck or the head.
Yeah.
And then that's a kill. Knife if you knife at the leg or the arms, we don't count that. Even though obviously, you could definitely cause some mortal damage. Well, you're still going to take some time to bleed out. You're still in the fight for the most part.
Yep.
So we say torso, head, and then that's over. We call it there. So he got hit in the torso. So I do think that Xander took that. But, it was tough because Brian got the gun and he kind of was shooting. He emptied the entire gun. And I don't know where any of the bullets went. We didn't have enough footage on that side to see where they went. I was like, Brian, did you shoot yourself? And he's like, no. And I was like, I don't know. It kind of looked like you shot yourself. But anyways, that's a long-winded explanation to say that now, if there is a situation where we go to overtime and nobody gets a definitive weapon kill within that first minute, so 4 minutes to 5 minutes. At 5 minutes, we stand them up. They start in a clinch, and then we put the weapon on the opposite side of the mat from them. They start standing in a clinch, and it's go time.
Yeah.
They get 1 more minute. So that's basically the overtime for the overtime. Yeah. Still keep it super high energy, super fast-paced, but make there be a definitive end. And that's one of the most creative solutions that we've had to an age-old problem in jiu-jitsu. Everybody wants to see submission only. Point systems, people don't like. People who don't train jiu-jitsu, they don't know anything about the point system. They're just scratching their head trying to figure out how that person won, how that person's leading or ahead. So having a submission-only rule set has always been the best. That's the king. That's what jiu-jitsu is really about. Yes, we have this saying position over submission, but still at the end of the day, if we're in a fight, somebody has to win.
Right.
And on the streets, it's not going to be with points. Nobody gives a crap about your points and how many sweeps or whatever you got. It's just about, did you go for any submissions? Did you get a submission? Did you cause that damage with the submission? Or in this case now, with the weapons, did you get a kill?
Right.
So with that, we've got this rule set that allows us to run these very compact, fast matches, 5 minutes, and then the match is over, whether you get a submission, whether you get a gun kill or a knife kill, which is very important because most of the time there's these complex overtimes for submission only, if there is overtime. But a lot of submission only has been just like, we're just going to keep going until there's a submission. And then you'll have people rolling for an hour.
Sure.
It's like people can't watch that. It gets very unentertaining. It gets very boring.
Yeah, this is 5 minutes per
5 minutes.
max
Exactly.
with a 1 minute potential.
Potential. And that's new. We haven't even tried this yet.
But
That's new.
I doubt you'll see it. I'd be surprised if you get there.
Yeah, I think it's just smart to have the system there just in case. But I think you're right. I think we'll see most people finish within that first overtime. Now,
I heard you're live streaming it.
Oh, we are live streaming it. That's very important to announce. We're live streaming it, and that's going to be on YouTube on Pit Boss Grappling, and that is free. You don't have to pay. You don't have to pay a single dime for it. It's free to go subscribe to the channel, Pit Boss Grappling. It's also free to go subscribe to the Daily Carry channel, by the way.
Yes, it is.
To give us a little bit of support. We appreciate you if you're listening and
share.
You go subscribe. And yes, and absolutely, please share. The live stream is going to be awesome. It's going to be so much fun this time. You're going to have a show to tune into online. Zach is Micah's son. He's going to be helping me with a lot of the live stream.
Oh man, it is on now.
He's going to be coming tonight, actually, later this evening. We're going to be doing a test stream, and we'll be getting everything set, ready to go. In fact, you'll see on the live stream, you'll see some of the podcast equipment repurposed for the evening for the live stream for JWI-3. So up here where we're sitting doing this podcast, this is where we'll have the commentators sitting.
Yep.
Facing right behind where I'm sitting right now. You can kind of see if I switch the camera angle to me, you can see a little bit of the mini Jumbotron and a little bit of the Rock Jiu Jitsu sign. So right under this Jumbotron, that is where we're going to have the competitors rolling. And it's something special, man. It's awesome to have an environment like this that's not a huge stadium, but it's still going to be a packed gym. And it doesn't even feel like a gym when you walk in because we flipped the entire thing to where you literally feel like you're walking into a fight club.
Yeah, but we can't talk about
fight. Yeah, we can't talk about it. Sorry. It's going to be something to behold.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that much. So tune in, JWI-3, Pit Boss Grappling, this Saturday. The doors open to the public at 5. I think we have like less than 10 tickets that we can sell remaining.
Oh wow.
So we are very quickly piled up, but we have limitless capacity for the stream online. So get your spot on the stream. It's very limited capacity on the stream. That's what I really probably should be saying, not unlimited. Get your spot in line on the stream and make sure that you're there early so that you don't have any lags or anything. You get your spot in the YouTube algorithm to prioritize your stream, and the stream will start at 6. The prelims start at 6. So a little before 6, you'll see the the starting soon overlay that we'll have on there as we're just doing systems checks and whatnot. But the prelims will start at 6, and then the main card starts at 7 p.m., and that's all Mountain Time. We're here in beautiful, as Mike has said, beautiful Colorado sunrise this morning. So, yeah, some very exciting stuff happening this weekend.
Well, it's been a pleasure and an honor to watch it grow to what it is now. And, there's a whole bunch that happens behind the scenes on this stuff that folks really don't get to see unless we share it. But we started this thing. JWI is coming in. We did the Carry Your Cross Challenge. We got multiple events we're getting ready to prep for. There's some rollout stuff that we can't go into today, but this is the centrifuge of some really amazing things that are going to be happening in the fall of 25 and jamming in 26. I'm actually already looking forward to next year, and we're only in month 8 of this year. But
it's just flying,
dude. So August is my month. So a week from now will be my 31st wedding anniversary. I'll turn 57 2 days after that. I've got 6 people that are either my closest friends and or relatives, and they all have birthdays within 3 days of each other. So like from the 5th to the 13th for me in August is go time. But I love it because August has no national holiday, so we just celebrate my birthday as a national holiday.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know that. You could celebrate my birthday in August. Anybody can. The whole world, if they want. Totally joking.
Everybody celebrate it.
I do want to say this. I'm looking forward to it because we're going to have our gals on here, I believe. Monday. So I'll be able to talk about it then. But I do have my 31st wedding anniversary coming up, and I am very, very excited about this. This is it's not the number, it's the amount of time that has gone by, and in some ways it feels like seconds when I look backwards, and it's just been an amazing doing this with Jana because and the reason I mention this is she has been a huge support of everything that's happening down here, and she's my rock. And when it comes to you got this, get after it, go do it. It may feel big, but you got it. And I'm sure that you felt that way with JWI in the beginning. Is like, can we pull this off? And the day of, you're down here just still streaming things together and making it work.
Yep.
it's great to have bedrock at home that you can lean on in that.
Yep. And you almost set me up for failure there.
Almost.
No, I don't. JWI is not on the level of my anniversary. Not on the level of my wife. You almost set me up there. I see what you almost did there, Sarah. You see this? I caught this. If you're listening to this episode, let me tell you something. Let me tell all the men out there something as well. Love Micah's attitude just now about his approach to being excited about his anniversary. We have too much mainstream culture and movies, whatever it is, where people approach their anniversary, men specifically, and act like it's a chore, act like it's a task. That needs to completely change. You need to have this kind of approach that Micah has just expressed of excitement with coming into your anniversary. Celebrate your wife. Celebrate your marriage. Think about the day that you got married. Go back to that headspace. You get a day where you get to it's just you and your wife.
Yeah.
Go have dinner. Go make a day out of it. Gifts. It's not a task. It's a celebration.
It is.
Go celebrate your wife. Celebrate your marriage. Do something special for her. And wives, do something special for your mans.
Yeah, we could rabbit trail this very fast, and we're going to immediately switch it back to our topic because we talked about JWI, and we want to make it applicable to real world events that are going on and stuff that can happen on the street. But I will say this: we do celebrations of life when we lose somebody,
Right.
and we celebrate their life. Well, goodness gracious, my wife is alive. So if I'm going to celebrate, I'm going to celebrate now, because I don't want to be thinking that down the road picture. That's not where I want to be celebrating. I want to celebrate now. In fact, I'm going to say this now, and I'll say it again. If I haven't said it before, I've never taken this ring off.
You said.
Oh, okay. Yeah, 31 years.
Yeah.
I put it on two sizes too small, and now it's like grown into my hand. But I love that. I love knowing that.
I guess I'm just a little more bougie than you, or something.
bougie.
But my wife, she likes to have different rings for different occasions. So she's got me a couple different rings that
Whatever works for you.
I'll wear with a different attire, so to speak. But respect for that. That is definitely something special. That's pretty cool. But babe, I love you. Our wedding anniversary isn't until February, but excited for it. We'll be married for 6 years in February.
Well, good.
So
See?
not 31, but
Hey.
6 years.
I've been married longer than you've been alive.
That's true. Very true.
And
you hear that,
I'm okay
everybody?
with
You
that.
hear that, internet? I'm not 30 yet.
You're not 30 yet, not much less 31. So real world stuff. Let's jam into this thing for a minute. We talked the applicability of, I guess we surface talked the applicability of JWI and real jiu-jitsu. But what's happening across the country right now? I sat down. So I read something last night, and forgive me, I don't know who this person is. Have you ever heard of Sydney Sweeney?
No.
I hadn't either. Apparently, American Eagle.
Is that like Todd Sweeney or what?
No. This is
Isn't that like a horror guy or whatever?
yeah.
With
That's a movie. Something. Todd Sweeney. You're right. No, I don't think there's any relation. First of all, I don't know who she is, so I can't say that there's not a relation. I don't think it's the same. I'm going to sound like a 57-year-old idiot on camera today. Like, well, dude, catch up with the times. I'm just here for the comedic relief. Sydney Sweeney, I don't know if she's an actress or a singer or whatever, but American Eagle contracted with her to come out and do a jeans commercial. And the caption, if I got this right, we can even pull it up. The caption was, Sydney Sweeney has amazing jeans. And then they cross out genes. It's spelled as in your genome. And then they write the word jeans. And then so she's standing in front of, it was a GT350. I didn't catch the year on it. Old. 60, I don't want to guess, 67, I think. But Sydney Sweeney has great jeans. And then the line goes through jeans, and then they write the word jeans underneath it, like in crayon. She walks around. It obviously focuses in on her and her butt as she walks away in these jeans. She climbs into this GT350, fires it up, revs it a couple times, dumps the clutch, spins out and takes off. That's the commercial. And apparently the entire world on the left has lost its mind as it's racist.
What?
It's racist because
What color is she?
she's white. So
why is this racist?
Because
She's white?
because it said Sydney Sweeney has either great jeans or nice jeans, something with a describing word jeans. And people have looked at that and said, oh, why didn't you use fill in the blank every other? And I go, are you kidding me? Like, it was a play on words. Like, and she's an attractive female. I think that was the whole point behind this thing, is you have an attractive female. She has great jeans, but what they're really saying is American Eagle jeans are awesome. And I thought it was actually very clever. And it is like sparked like this online fury now, because everybody has to be mad over everything. You can't do anything. We even talked about it in the hero in Michigan, the comment, learn how to hold your gun. I mean, it's like, okay, we can address that later. Can't we just be grateful that this guy stopped multiple people from dying? And now we got a jeans commercial, and American Eagle's going to make bank on this, by the way.
I mean, I would pull it up, but I don't want to get thumped by my wife, so it doesn't sound like something appropriate.
It's not. Well, here's the thing. It's not that. That's it. She's wearing like a jean jacket and a button-down shirt and a pair of jeans. This isn't a skimpy ad. It's nothing like that. It's just
the coolest part about it. Sounds like the GT350.
It is,
if I'm
but
being
far
honest.
and away when she dumps the clutch, and it's not an AI thing. I mean, she gets in it, dumps the clutch, and does a great burnout. I mean, like it's cool. Like, it's Americana. It's like it makes you feel like, oh, that was awesome.
So where's the point of the connecting? Because I know you had a train of thought here going. Where's the point?
Oh, I'm just saying that we in America. So when you're going about your day and the world is falling apart around you and things turn violent and things go crazy, this is always, I always go back to the boundary probe of, if somebody has to be mad about something, there's an end result that ends up coming from this. So you had the attack on the people in Cincinnati, the couple that got jumped on camera and beat by numerous people while 100 people videotaped it. Well, now they've caught a handful of these people, and they're charging them with some really, really serious crimes they would have never charged them with had this not gotten national attention. The Sydney Sweeney, I think is their last name, thing, you got a lot of people on the political left that are like firestorming this thing right now. Like, it can turn violent is the point. When you see something like this that's so silly and so simple, and we take it to such extremes that the justification is go hurt somebody or go burn a business or go do something, like we saw with Tesla's. Perfect example, right? So Musk says something, Trump says something, next thing you know, people are out spray painting Nazi signs. So it's always, where does this head, and how do you see it coming? How do you protect yourself? How do you live prepared without living in doomsday, constantly worried, or just sitting at home not wanting to go out anymore? So I envision this in my head. We have Park Meadows Mall up there. There's an American Eagle store in there.
Oh yeah,
you can bank on the fact that somebody is going to create tension somewhere, somehow, for people in that store, because the company came up with an ad. I mean, it's almost inevitable at this point in time. Go back to the Bud Light thing a couple of years ago when they did that whole Dylan Mulvaney thing. And
that one was upsetting. I will be honest with you.
But there's just a lot of
I don't even drink at all, period. But even for me being on the outside looking in, man, with Bud Light supposed to be this American company and gets that kind of just starts being liberal with their media like that, that's just disappointing.
But
man.
look what it turned into, though. I mean, you had people fighting in the streets over it. You had people kicking over cases, and I'm not saying
that any of that was right either.
Not at all.
I'm just saying that, hey, I think that, to your point, the bigger problem is this: companies generally, and it's not just companies, it's pretty much anybody. You can't put anything out without there being some kind of an outrage. You can't do anything right nowadays with how many people are able to watch what you're doing. There's always going to be a group of people who are like, this is horrible. Can you believe this? Look at this. This is racist. What are you talking about? This is racist. Well, talking about her jeans. Her jeans are superior. Is this white supremacy? No, you're being ridiculous. It's a jean ad.
It's exactly what's being said, though. And it's freaking people out and taking over the internet. I mean, in 48 hours, it has gone from nothing to a thing, and now it's being used as a topic and screaming points and talking points.
Yeah. Well, hey, I'll liken it to this. Even with our so far not huge platform on this podcast, one of our clips the other day on TikTok, it got some traction, and it was whenever we were talking about the bill in Colorado, I think 25, 31, 12, something like that. One about the the kids and
Yeah.
the minors being able to change their names in the schools going along with it and not having to tell the parents. And then if the parents find out and they have any backlash against it, that they can be sued for discrimination, all this, that, and the other. So in the clip, I'm just talking about how parents are pulling their kids out of schools, and rightfully so, because right now there is a bill that passed that had trans affirming care, gender affirming care, that favors schools being able to have this role in playing along with kids, minors who want to change their identity, who want to go by Sally instead of Billy. So many of the comments on this TikTok video is like, this is not happening. Name the bill. This is not happening anywhere. And I just went on there and I was like, hey, here's the bill. Look it up.
Yeah.
Here it is. This is the bill. It is literally a real thing. And it's just mind blowing to even see this. There was one lady on there that was commenting back and forth. She just stopped because you hit a point where you've said all that you can say.
Yeah.
But this is the one time that I entertained just going in there and just being like, okay, let's just try to educate people. That's got to be I'm never going to argue with people. I will, if you are asking questions, if there's a question mark at the end of what you're saying, then I will do my best to try to educate, because at the end of the day, I don't want to be wrong either. So I want to educate myself. So if somebody's asking a question and I don't know how to answer it, then I probably shouldn't be talking about it.
Sure.
But if they're asking a question and I can't answer it, then it's literally my job at this point. If I'm going to say something on air, I should probably
We got to be able to defend yourself or defend the topic that you're talking about.
Yeah, but
And if you don't, apologize.
Exactly, definitely, and know whenever you're wrong, know whenever you said something wrong. But in this case, everything that we said is completely true. And the comments were just like, "This isn't happening." I looked it up; it's not even happening in California. So I gave the bill. I said, "Here it is." And then her response was, "Big whoop. People go by different names in school all the time." She said something like that. She's like, "I've gone by a different name than was given to me my entire life." And he's like, she said, Williams go by Bill all the time. And I was like, what you're talking about is much different. I'm talking about Bill telling the entire school that his new name is Sally, and the school doesn't ever have to tell the parents that. And just continue to respond and say, I understand Williams going by Bill is not a big deal. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about parents being cut out from identity-altering conversations and decisions in their kids' lives. And I just went further to say, we're just talking about the role that parents have has to be the louder voice than the schools. The school's job is not to raise and guide children.
Well, it has, yeah. I mean, I didn't. So I've not read comment 1 on anything, and I won't until at least episode 25 because I committed.
Lucky you.
Hey,
must be an easy life.
It is an easy life because I'm not even. I don't look. I'm whatever. And look how stress free I'm.
I'm not stressing.
I am so not caring, and here's why. Because something like that to me is silly. If you're not discerning enough to realize we're not talking Bill, Billy, William, Walt.
It just shows you how argumentative they are. They just want to try to make their point.
Yeah, read the bill, though. Like, this isn't just about a name. It's not about just changing a name. It's about the fact that you can change your physical body. The school doesn't have to report anything, and they will help endorse getting you into it. Man, go read the bill. Go read 1312 or 1320, whatever it is. Look it up. Educate yourself. That stuff drives me nuts. Because you're going to stand out here and tell me it's not raining and it's a downpour. It's like, that's not what we're talking about today.
Yeah.
Let's focus on the facts. So I brought up the Sydney Sweeney thing only because it's one of these things where you read it, you see it, and immediately it turned into a race issue. And I was watching Stevie Knight. I think it was Stevie Knight. He said on his podcast, he's like, "Are you kidding me?" He goes, "Look, this is an epically cool commercial. Why? Why do we have to go there?" And that's ultimately, somebody had put out a statement the other day. I'll pull up the video. I've got the video saved. He was talking about the difference between politically and really socially between right and left right now is, for the most part, he didn't say this is an all-inclusive both sides. He goes, for the most part, and I would agree with for the most part. He said, I was sitting down and I was having a conversation with a PhD holder about the difference in debate between the right and the left. And he says, if I present an idea, he goes, the difference is this. If I present an idea, I present it, you give me your answer. I can either accept the answer or not accept the answer, but I walk away with that's the answer. If I give you something and you disagree. You want me to come around to your way of thinking. And if I don't come around to your way of thinking, the first reaction you guys go to is attack and violence. And it was astounding to sit down and listen to it because it was laid out better than anybody I've ever heard laid out before. It's that your go-to becomes an attack. And that's why I brought up this ad is there's the verbal attack and then there's the racial divide, which is just going to, it will metastasize like cancer. It will just boom. And then you have reactions to that. If people don't agree with you, now all of a sudden, I'm telling you right now, you watch, somewhere in America, we will have an issue with an American Eagle store or something to do with American Eagle in the next few days. Watch and wait. It happens every time, right? And so this is why I always say walk around, and when we talk Cooper's colors, I always walk around really in a yellow-orange state of mind. Not because I'm looking over my shoulder everywhere I go. I just want to be aware because it happens so fast. We talked about this at great length the other day. Things can hit you, literally come at you so fast that you can't react to them. And we're having that right now in the social media world, in the online presence world. It's like you turn on your phone and you will have, you just start scrolling and you will feel bombarded and you don't know what to do. And so then when a real event happens, I think this is where people go catatonic or they go paralyzed. They get frustrated. They don't know what to do. They don't know how to react. We talk about this stuff all the time. And there's a reason we're talking about this all the time is because it's happening all the time. Mm-hmm. It's hard to get away from it is the point. And you don't want to sit here and focus on it. And at the exact same time, it's like, we can sit here and talk about anything we want to talk about. But when I go outside that door, I gave the example this morning of driving over here. The doors off the Jeep, the sun was coming up. People were out running on the trail. They were walking the dogs. Everything was great. Mm-hmm. But by 10 a.m. this morning, 11 a.m. this morning, you go out into the real world and you get down into the flow of traffic and everything that's happening in the hustle and bustle. And it's almost like you can just feel it. There's just this tension, this nonstop tension in the air. And people are just ready. I don't know. Yeah. It just feels like the people are just ready to snap. And I hate that. I hate that for our country.
It's definitely this level of cancel culture that's still there. It's like people are just always looking for a problem. And I mean, I've even experienced it on my own level with JWI. I've had a lot of criticism, people acting like that I'm not having female matches. And the problem is this: I have bent over backwards trying to cater to and facilitate female matches.
Sure.
I said, for any adult female, I said, if you want to wear a suit, you want to wear a dress, that's fine. But same rules set as what we're doing here. Weapons, everything's going to be the same. And of course, for the women, if they were to wear a dress, it's like you're going to have to wear, spats or compression shorts on whatever, because that's not what we're about. We're just trying to have a formal fight night. That's what we're doing. But I've invited many females, and I was very close to getting a high-level match together for this card. Kind of fell apart at the end. They just ended up not wanting to agree to it, and couldn't really meet each other in the middle. And so I'm still working very hard on that. But this will show you how hard I'm working on this. This coming Saturday, we will have our first ever female match on JWI-3.
Right.
It's not on the main card. It's on the prelims. And that's because we did a junior JWI open where we had qualifiers available. And we had, on this prelims card, we have 4 people, 4 kids. One of them is actually like an 11 and 12-year-old match, and then the rest of them are teens matches. And they won coins to be able to call out and ask for their opponent. And one of those is a female, and they called out one of the females from our gym. So they're going to be going on the prelims. That's the first ever female match. And the girls, they are so excited about this match. This is going to be awesome. And to see them stepping up is awesome. I hope that just people seeing that, okay, it took the teen girls getting into this first, I hope that adds some motivation and some momentum to where the older females can see what we're doing and maybe not approach it the same light as they would like an actual super competitive world championship match. Just come out and have some fun if you want to do it. But don't give any flack or heat to the organization. Pit Boss Grappling's trying pretty hard to allow there be opportunities for anybody who wants to be involved. I have made a point from the beginning of the promotion not to try to chase the competitors. I want people on the card who want to be on the card more than they want to be on any other card. And so far, that's exactly what we've seen. People who are excited to be here with this rule set and compete in suits. They love the vibe. They love the vision. They love everything that we're doing. Those people reach out to me. And you can tell the ones who are serious, and you can tell the ones who are just like, this is all I want to do. Please let me on this card. I will make it a show. You will not regret it. There's a difference between just people who are like, hey, I'd like to maybe be on this, versus those people who are like, dude, I gotta get on this show, please. Those are the people that I'm looking for.
Yeah.
But I've had maybe 2 females reach out to me that had that kind of, not even that I want to be on the show, but hey, I would be interested. Not this, put me on, I gotta be on, But I've still tried. I've tried really hard, and I'm going to continue to try. That's my commitment. I will continue to try, but I can't want it more than the females want it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And I'm tracking your point too. We were talking about society and how everybody just digs on something. And when people come back, this isn't a defense of, let's be very clear. There's a lot of work that goes in behind the scenes on something like this when you're putting an event together. But I transition the thought process over into the very real self-defense that we teach. I want the same thing. I don't want somebody walking in who's on the fence on whether or not they need it because they got one foot in the door and one foot out. I want somebody who's coming in here going, I want to be empowered. I know I need this. I want it. I'm going to walk out stronger, better. Discernment is going to change. Situational awareness is going to change. My ability physically is going to change. We've got a lot of gals that have come in here that have been through some serious baggage, trauma, bad things have happened to them. They've been hurt. They've bad domestic situations. And they're like, I'm never going through this again. And that's the world we live in. I mean, that's their real world. They're going out there and living in a real world. And they come in here and they're like, I want to train and I want to feel empowered. And they will tell me, but I get shouted down. I have people come up and go, well, why are you doing that? That's stupid. It's never going to work. And then they walk out of here and they're like, what are you talking about? This like changed my life. And that to me, it's why it sounds like I'm rabbit trailing all over, but the truth of it is that's why I mentioned my wife earlier. I put the ring on too small because I wanted to show my dedication and loyalty to my bride for the entire duration of from beginning to death, that you're my everything. And I try to do that in the world that I operate in too. If I teach tactics, if I teach defense, if I'm on the deacon board over at church, whatever it may be, I'm gonna do my level best to put my all into it. And I believe we live in a society, I'm circling it back to this, that just is so right now, so me. They don't care about anything we're attacking somebody over wearing jeans now. And it's just like, what more can we argue about before the zombie apocalypse hits? I mean, it's like the decline it feels like it's coming in waves. So this event, and you got it on over here on the Jumbotron in the background.
JWI-2's playing back there right now.
And it's a packed house and everybody's having a great time. The matches are real. It's about entertainment, but it's also the reality of what these guys are getting after. And there's a lot of years of blood and sweat that went into these guys' ability to go do these things. And I love promoting it.
Is this it right here? I'm going to pull it up just because we referenced it.
It's the one, I don't remember her sitting in a car. The only one that I ever saw was this
one's from American Eagle, so this got to be it.
She walked.
Oh yeah, she's on a rom-com or something that I watched.
I don't know who
with my
she
wife
is.
before.
Somebody told me about it. No, this isn't the same one. This is the one she did earlier.
Maybe they walked it back and they did.
I don't know. She literally it just said she has awesome jeans and she climbed into the car. It was like 30. Yeah, it was like a 30-second video.
Well, there it is.
Yeah.
That's great.
But on the other one,
do you think they changed it?
I don't know.
You think they walked it back?
I doubt it. It'd be too fast.
No,
the
that
other
was
one
8 days ago. Look, that was 8 days ago.
Drawing a line through it. But look at it. It's got 2 million views.
Hold on. Maybe we need to put on their Mustang GT350.
It was a GT350.
Where's the numbers?
So, yeah, I don't know, dude. I brought it up. It became a talking point on here now, but I look at it through the lens of why are we so angry all the time? I mean, it's like every right there.
It was one made for social media then.
I don't know.
It looks like it's in this vertical format here. Oh, it's a classic GT350. Look at that thing.
Yeah, she just gets in, she starts it up, she revs it up, and she just dumps the clutch.
What a car.
And the thing is, so
That is the most racist video I've ever seen. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
The car's even white.
yeah, it's terrible.
Hey, I'm gonna call it right now. This is the best move for those protesters that want to raise some ruckus. Okay, you're gonna go stand in front of an American Eagle Outfitters store. You're gonna have your cardboard sign. It's gonna say, "My jeans weren't good enough for them. They shouldn't be good enough for you either."
Wow, dude, we have evolved. No, not evolved. We did evolve, but now we're devolving.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Into bedlam over. It's so hard being a part of. I don't know, dude. I'm maybe I'm just an old guy. I get told this very, very infrequently. I guess it's because I still play hockey and I'm still active. I don't know. But I get told every once in a while, dude, you're just old. You don't understand what it's like growing up in this culture. I'm like, you're absolutely right. I don't. When I was a kid, as I shared, we'd get off the bus. If it was wintertime, we went and played hockey. If it was summertime, we stayed outside all day. If we came back inside, our parents yelled at us. Go outside, go do something. And we're just on the opposite side of that now. And we're just attached to the phones. We live on them. It's like you can't put them down. You can't get away from them. And everywhere you turn, and it incites. The other thing is you're seeing stuff. You're seeing stuff in real time that people are doing, and you're like, ooh, I want to do that. Mm-hmm. Back in the day, I would have never known. I would have to wait to go to school the next week to find out what Dave did. Now, I can find out what Dave did by following Dave on a channel.
So true. Yeah.
It is. And then we're doing it, right? I mean, we got the Daily Carry podcast. We're sitting up here. We're talking about this. I mean, people are following along with a portion of what we're doing, but what we're getting ready to grow, we're marketing. You better believe it. We're getting ready to do stuff that is going to be epically cool.
Yeah.
But we're doing it through the lens of what we believe. And this isn't to go against the world, but it's just to set a different tone, a different approach of it's okay to actually be a dude. It's okay to be masculine. It's okay to love your wife. It's okay to edify your wife. It's okay to open a door for somebody. It's okay to be kind. It's okay to give up a parking spot. It's okay to push the cart back into the King Supers so the little cart dude doesn't have to come out and get 50 of them. It's okay to be a good human being. It's okay to do epically cool stuff. It's okay to fill in the blank, fill in the blank, fill in the blank. And we're going to do some of it with guns. We're going to do some of it with weapons. We're going to do some of it with bows. We're going to do some of it with ATVs. We're going to do some of it with just dudes sitting around a campfire sharing.
GT350. If any followers want to give one to us and let us rip it up.
I want a Voodoo, by the way. If anybody is willing to part with a 5.2 Voodoo GT350, PM me.
DM me. Is it? They don't say PM.
See, I'm not even up on that. What's DM?
Direct message.
Text me. Call me.
Yeah.
Send me. Send me something in the mail. I said all that to say this. It's exhausting being an old guy looking backwards, and I never understood why old guys back in the day looking backwards were always so grumpy. The difference now is we live in an age where technology is available for everybody, and back when I grew up as a kid, it wasn't available. It was just go do something hard. Get out there and work. Get out there and mow the grass. Go get out of the house. Now it's like our kids they just grew up in a world, and you're young enough. You grew up in this. You grew up in a world where everything is attainable with the touch of a button. And when I grew up, everything was attainable if you worked for it. I mean, like you actually had to go do it. There was no YouTube video on how to fix a condenser on a something or other. Like you had to figure
it's pretty cool.
You had to figure it out and get shocked.
I've definitely used a bunch of those YouTube videos, I'll have to admit. And I'll have to kind of be a little bit of a voice for anybody of my generation.
Please do.
Because
I'm not saying it's bad, by the way. Let me clarify. I'm not saying it's all bad, Jared.
Let me clarify this, okay? Because we can either be consumers or we can be producers. Man, you and me have sat and talked about the tech, even behind the show, behind JWI, the editing, all that stuff. Here's the difference. Is there tools out there that can make your life considerably easier than those before us? 100%. But does that mean that it's easy? Easier? Yeah, but you have to put in the time. You have to put in the work to learn how to use this stuff and not just sit there scrolling. Not just sit there being a consumer, because that's the easy part. Is you can sit back and you can just let other people live their lives. You can pull up a YouTube video, how to do this, that, and the other, and you can get the education you need to just get by. Or you can really be on that outlier where you want to be a producer. You can be this person who takes everything that we have attainable now and multiply with it rather than just playing this game of sitting back and now life's easy. Well, you can take those tools and supercharge your productivity, supercharge your output to where you're a producer and you're out there in the world living life to the fullest. You can go on YouTube and watch videos on how to start a business, but does that mean that people are going to go out and actually start a business? No. Right. But you can watch videos on YouTube how to go out and start a very successful business without having to have any type of a formal education, without having to have any kind of a pedigree, nothing. You just go out, you start a business, you follow the blueprint on some of these videos on YouTube. You can do that. You got to put in the time, you got to put in the work, but you've got systems, we've got technology now that allows us to have every reason to succeed. But we also have technology that gives us every excuse not to succeed as well. So it's kind of a double-edged sword, so to speak. But I will agree with you. There's definitely this level of societal change where it's like, man, I think there's a lot of people in limbo. How do we handle this? We've got screens in front of us all the time. Social media is a giant. YouTube's a giant. Netflix, all these entertainment companies. People are spending more time on their screens than ever before, obviously. Prices of TVs are going down. But how can we flip that and use this to our advantage? I think that that's hopefully where we're at right now. Is we're at this kind of stage in this entire process of kind of taking these next steps as a society and using technology. Hopefully we go to exactly that, using it in a way that we're productive more than just using it to entertain ourselves and sit around and waste our life, you know?
Do you think, well, so not everybody sitting around is, to your point, is sitting around doing nothing. That I didn't want to imply that. But we do have a degree of laziness that I don't think we've ever seen before, because you get sucked into this stuff and you sit there and I'll give you a very simple example. I'm in a coffee shop that I can't name, having a meeting yesterday because there's a coffee shop next door. But we were on the north end of town.
Yeah, you better not name
I can't name it, dude.
No other coffee shop gets airtime on this show.
But in all fairness, from Hawaii, Sarah did post a picture of a coffee shop she was at. So I say that, or no, I was sitting there, I was having this meeting, and there's a gal sitting next to me. We're literally 18 inches apart at two different tables. I'm talking to this dude. She's sitting right here. She's working. And on her phone, I had to read it twice. Now, I know you're thinking I'm eavesdropping, but she had her phone propped up against her computer. And when she hit the screen, it was one of those, it shows your, it's the thing that shows your screen time, like where it pops up on your screen. Uh-huh. It says you are at 29 hours of screen time for the week. Mm-hmm. Now, I don't know if she just leaves her screen open all the time. I don't know. But mine had an hour and 4 minutes. I looked mine up. She was at 29 hours. Now, I've got to give 100%. I have no idea how she uses her phone. But what caught my attention was, and this, by the way, this was a really big phone. It was almost like a tablet phone. 29 hours. And I thought, even if you were only...
You want to know mine?
What is it?
You want me to tell the whole world what mine is?
Yeah, I want to hear it.
34 hours.
So are you at 34 hours of use, or do you leave yours on?
No, it's use.
Okay.
But this also, let me clarify something. I edit on the desktop sometimes, but just making the posters for JWI, and people are going to laugh online probably because there's definitely better ways to do it. But I do all that right here on my phone.
Right.
And the amount of productivity that I'm able to squeeze out of this thing is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Almost all the video editing, everything that you'll see on our social media, this is what I use. I use the desktop application, but a lot of those desktop applications work on my phone. So even when I'm not working on the desktop, I'll pull up my phone. If I'm out somewhere, I have a little bit of time, I'll open this up. I'll start working on a video, start working on a poster, and then I have the whole other business that I run with emails and online logins for appraisal assignments, all that stuff. So that's the reason my screen time is as high as it is because this is literally like I use this for probably 80 to 90% of my job.
Right. And you stole in a very positive way the thunder that I was about to applaud and crack down with. So when I saw this, I wanted to qualify because I don't know how she's using her phone. And where I was driving was exactly what you just finished. If you have somebody who is productive in getting after it, so I opened up my one phone, I was at an hour and 4 minutes. That is my personal phone. That is, so I have two phones. I do the same thing you do, except for I operate off two phones. So I keep one so I I can function with my daily life, and the other one I can open up and do business at the same time. So if I need to do a phone call with somebody, I can open up email on the other one, do whatever. However, and I do it out of my truck in most cases because I don't pay for an office. I don't want to have an office. I'll meet somebody at a coffee shop if I have to meet somebody. I found productivity to be high. What I was going to get at is I was at 43 hours on my other phone, and that's my work phone.
Yeah.
So I felt like on one hand, I'm going, man, I feel good because I feel like I've been crushing it with the amount of stuff that I put in. And the other one, clearly, I'm not doing hardly anything with it, which means I'm not sitting there dorking around. And I think there's a balance in there. And so I went home, and I brought this up with a buddy of mine. I called him, whose kid never leaves the bedroom, kind of deal. He's one of those kids. And he was just out here, and he was saying, I don't know what to do with him, and it's just driving me nuts. And I said, well, how? Just out of curiosity, have you ever looked at his phone? He says, dude, he averages 80 hours a week. And he goes, and I guarantee you, there's not 2 minutes of productivity in it. And that's the whole point as I was driving at, is we as a society there's no way to know what everybody's doing, nor do I care. But I do look at it through the lens of, we do sit around a lot. And you can see the byproduct everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
And then then when something happens, you've got people that are almost like in a catatonic state. I swear to goodness, they've been so ingrained to walking and living on this thing and doing everything on it that when something happens in real life, the reactions are all over the place. And
and we've talked about that.
It's just
on
nuts.
This show a couple of times. It was just people programmed to watch instead of actually react, instead of actually do something.
Do you think it's laziness? Do you think it's fear? I
just think that I think that it's almost this. I think of the movie Kangaroo Jack from my childhood. Whenever you've probably never even seen it. And
never heard of it.
That's your loss. But we've got what's the guy's name? I forget the guy's name, but it is hilarious. One of my favorite movies growing up. It's just a funny movie. And the guys are running away in this scene from some guys that are trying to apprehend them, and the guy's got his dog with him. And his dog's name's Waffles. And they're running away, and the dog's like standing behind, and they're like, wait, Waffles! He's frozen with fear. It's a hilarious scene. I have to see if I can pull that up and show you. But I think of it in that light. But from a more serious note, I think that there's this being frozen with fear because, man, I've seen this a million times. I've seen stuff like this happen online. But here it is happening in front of me. What do? Pull out my phone and record. I got to record this. This is social media gold. And we have your example that you just now expressed and told. You said it last episode, and you referenced it again today, where we've got, what was that, Cincinnati?
Yeah.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, 100 people.
100 people, and 99 pull out their phones.
Yeah.
And one person tries to step in to help. That just shows you, I think that really tells you, is it fear or is it this even worse than fear, where it's like they're more afraid to lose this moment that they could be recording to actually stepping up and doing something about it? Are they afraid that if they don't pull out their phone and record it, that they're missing this opportunity to be relevant on social media,
could be.
online?
Follow me, get views.
I don't know. That's such a horrible thing to think about. But man, the clicks, the likes, the views, that's very much kind of been ingrained into our society as this validation, which I think is very unhealthy.
Oh, it's super unhealthy. And I've said it, I don't know. I've said it 100 times in the last 5 years. I said, I think cell phones and social media be the downfall of mankind. I genuinely believe it because we're distracted. We're distracted all the time. You can go into any restaurant, any coffee shop. You've heard, everybody's talked about this. I'm not saying anything original here, but you look around, you watch an entire family sitting at a table, playing on their phone in a restaurant. I go back to teenage years, early 20s, before cell phones were a thing, before any of this tech was here. Dude, we would have never thought, if I had to forecast, I would have never thought there's going to be a device that's going to give you unlimited access to unlimited information in the palm of your hand. You can carry it everywhere you go. I would have never believed. If somebody had told me that, I would have thought, yeah, not in my lifetime.
Yeah.
And here I am on the other side of it, carrying two of them, doing business from the inside of my truck, complaining about lazy people on a podcast right now. And I go, am I missing something? Or have we just, as a society, we've just succumbed to this? I mean, you said it's sad to say, but the algorithm is designed by engineers that want the very thing that you just referenced. And people, like, they thrive on this stuff.
Yeah.
It's me, and it's look what I'm putting out there, and it's getting followers. We're trying to do the exact same thing on a podcast. I hope for the right reasons. I mean, I sit down and I pray about it. I'm like, make this an extension of you in a way that literally is positive for people.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, am I a contributor? And I sit down and I process through that stuff, and I go, okay, so what is the content? What is the construct? What is the context? What are we putting out there? And then I go, okay, I feel better.
Yeah.
I feel better because I'm not, don't get me wrong, guys and gals that are the younger generation. I'm not telling you not to go out and have fun. I'm not being an old crusty curmudgeon. I'm not telling you not to do super silly things that make people laugh or film your cat or whatever. That's not what this is about. It's me as a grown man looking at society across the board, 350 million people in this country, and we're divided more than we've ever been. We're politically divided more than we've ever been. Racial tensions are high. Arguments are abounding left and right. Advertisements are ticking people off. Sports people are ticking people off. Movies, I mean, just et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And people, I think, are consumed by it, and they don't know what to do with it. And again, when you get blindsided with something in life, especially in reality, when reality hits you, pun intended or otherwise, you got to know what to do. And that's hard. I just think I think it's gotten really, really hard for people to turn everything off to be able to focus on this thing over here that genuinely could matter or could save their life in the moment.
Definitely. And here's the thing, to pivot the conversation from there, how can we make some positive steps toward being more ready to react in a way that's not only going to help others, but help society make this shift where the most important thing isn't pulling out your phone and videoing, but the most important thing is if you're in a situation where you can actually do something to help, do something that might potentially save life, that's obviously the better use of your time. Forget about views. Forget about likes. Somebody else is going to video it. There's no doubt. There's so many cell phones. There's so many cameras out there. It's going to be on video. Step up to the plate and help out. But what's so cool, tying all this together, because we talk about tactics, and we talked about it on the last episode a little bit, but talking about it even further as we're getting into the later stages of this episode, talking about JWI, because obviously jiu-jitsu already prepares you in so many ways. But this rule set, it's become a way that we train at the Rock Jiu-Jitsu team relatively regularly. We throw weapons in. And why? Because it's fun, but it's also very practical. The application, and that's a lot of the comments that we'll get online too, is a lot of comments will say, I love this because this is an aspect that's neglected by every other MMA, grappling, whatever. There's a whole nother element whenever you add weapons to it, which is very, very relevant. If you are actually in a situation where you're having to fight for your life, there's a very good chance that there's going to be weapons involved. And so this is just a good way to make sure that you're staying sharp, staying prepared, and you know the key principles, whether you're in a gunfight or a knife fight. If you're in a knife fight, create space.
Distance.
Yep. And if you're in a gunfight, take away distance, if possible.
Yeah.
But even more important than that, they're trying to get something from you. You have a weapon. Give them what they want. Live to tell about it.
Right.
Otherwise, if it's go time, you'll know. And you'll know even better, and you'll know with better discernment just by training, just by having these situations run by you, having somebody to tell you, hey, let's think about this. Maybe you haven't thought about this scenario before. How are we prepared? How can we be ready? Just training is probably 90% of the solution for all the problems as far as the screen time goes, as far as the disconnect between taking action and just watching. Just training, just jiu-jitsu is getting your foot in the door of a jiu-jitsu gym is going to help in all kinds of ways. But then on top of that, getting involved, and hopefully as we see JWI grow, we'll see more and more gyms doing this and training this way, because overall, what's it going to hurt? It's really fun to do. People really enjoy it, and it's really practical. The use application for actually training with these weapons is very realistic.
Oh, it's applicable across the board.
Definitely, no doubt. And so I have pulled up on the screen here just some shorts that we've posted on YouTube for JWI. We'll have to filter through some of the interviews, which are a little more controversial. Guys, listen, they were supposed to be kind of corny. Okay?
Yeah, they're fun. They're fun.
They are fun. When we had Alex do his entire interview in Russian, which was pretty epic. That was pretty cool. But look, I just posted this video last night just to get people a little bit excited. Here we are. You see this? Working toward the knife. Boom. He tries to jump over me, beat me to it, and then we get the stab. And then here we got some gun exchanges here from standing. Oh, there's Brian and Danny going after the gun there. That was a funny exchange.
That's a good matchup right there.
Oh, yeah, it's an awesome matchup. And then we got Kyle, who was training with us that night, going with Xander.
What a lot of people, if they're watching this right now, will go, okay, cool, you guys are throwing rubber guns in the middle of this and you're showcasing it. Here, this is, oh, man. This right here in the real world, getting jumped, tackled, grabbed, whatever.
Yeah.
It's on, you're in it, and it's very real inside of 2 seconds. And if you're 30 seconds into it and you haven't taken a breath, you're going to be gassed.
No
and
doubt.
if you don't know what you're doing, you're in a lot of trouble. So when people say, well, how is this applicable? Well, this is my whole world, so it's easy for me to sit back and go, I could talk hundreds of law enforcement cases that I've either been on, investigated, or been a part of, where I go, well, here's what the victim said.
Yeah.
I wish I had done something, or I felt something and I didn't know what to do and I froze. And that's their regret after this tragedy has taken place. So it becomes very applicable real quick.
Yeah.
When somebody goes hands-on with you. And
no doubt,
when we've shown how many videos this week alone, just pulling up clips of these things happen. They're happening all the time. People are like, well, I can't believe it's happening here. Yeah, it is. It's happening. And so this right here is why we do it.
It's a fun way to train.
It's a fun way
to get prepared, and it's super applicable. I mean, and what a lot of people probably don't even realize, like the guys that are on the card, most of them are very highly weapons trained. We've got a lot of military guys in our gym. We've got a lot of law enforcement. We've got a lot of guys with this background. One of the guys on the card, he literally travels with the military, shoots competitively.
Yeah.
And we've got other guys. We've got Air Force guys, Space Force guys. We've got guys that, like, they've trained for a long time with weapons. And so whenever you're seeing these exchanges, it's very real to life. And let's find another good one for weapons. Here's a good one right here. This was actually at the Junior JWI Open. So you're seeing here, these are some of the very first people under 18. We did, I think it was only 11 and up for this one. So it was 11 to 17. So you see the first tweenagers and teenagers trying this rule set. And this was in the gi, but it's still the same rules. They can take their gi top off, the weapons get thrown in, and you see it just changes everything. When the weapon gets thrown in, you have to be prepared for that. And you see a lot of these kids getting really excited about this because, not because it's violent, but because it's fun. They're having a lot of fun with it. And they're growing up this age, they're playing Call of Duty. They're playing all these games where they're killing their friends online. This brings some real life application and some real life weight to it, some responsibility. Gets them ready for the real world. And it gives them this skill set that'll be with them if they're ever in a situation, which Lord forbid, it's not like we want to see anybody in a situation like this, but it's very important to have this layer of training, to have this in your back pocket to where if you need to use it, you can.
Yeah.
Right? So let's look at JWI-1. This is just a shorter clip. It's not a short, but it's a shorter clip. This is just some highlights from JWI-1. We only really had 2 matches go to overtime to the weapons. My match and then Troy and Matt's match. See, he's showing the weapon there. This is just basically a preview to the video. But look, we didn't have very many matches. I think we had 6 or 7 matches on JWI-1. And looking back, I asked all the guys on the cards, like, why didn't you want to go to the weapon? Because we barely had any overtime matches. Everybody was rushing to submissions. They're like, well, I didn't want to go to the weapon because, it's almost any man's game from there, which I see the argument there. But at the same time, if you're more trained on weapons, then you probably would rather go to the weapons if you got a good strategy. JWI-2, we saw a lot more weapon kills. So I think we had a lot more competitors training for that, getting ready for that, strategizing with the weapons in mind. But for the first one, for sure, everybody was like, I want to get a submission. I don't want to go to weapons. I'm not prepared for weapons. I just want to make sure that I try to get a submission as fast as possible. So we had a lot of very fast submissions in JWI-1. But let's move to the weapons because we're talking mostly about the tactics. Because there's a whole strategy. If you know that a weapon's going to be put in, obviously it changes things a little bit. But there's a lot of different strategies you can run, whether it's going to be gun, whether it's going to be knife, and what you can kind of do. So I'll use my match first just because there was only 2 that went, and mine's before Matt and Troy's. And I'll try to skip so that we don't just spend a whole 20 minutes watching the same video. But here we're getting pretty close to the weapon dropping. And my priority now at this point, before the weapon drops, I just want to make sure I'm in a good position.
Yeah.
So the rule is whatever side that we're fighting on, the person who's putting the weapon is going to put the weapon in on the far side of the arena. So we have to actually fight to it. They don't just put it right next to us, because then at that point, whoever just sees it we make it be a relatively fair fighting chance for both of the guys to be able to fight to it and strategize. So here we are. This is the knife's about to get put in. By now, the knife has the coin has already been flipped, and it's going to be a knife get thrown in. And I pretty much already know that. I'm not worried about submissions. Boom, the knife gets thrown in and roll. Boom, straight to it. And if you watch, the strategy really there is on the bottom, what the guy can do is try to connect to you and try really hard to stay. Oh, there we had Chris give his give the camera his nice little birdie there. Sorry, we'll have to bleep that out, I guess.
The videographer should have known better.
But here we have, so his hands are tied up. So this is what was really cool about this position. If we just break this down, his option on the bottom is he doesn't want me to get to the weapon, whether it's a gun or a knife. He doesn't want me to get it. So his option is use his hands, use his feet, try to connect to me and hold me back. Mm-hmm. Well, I'm threatening a submission here. So he's grabbing his hands together so that I can't armbar him. So his hands are already tied in that regard. So this is an excellent position to be able to sit as you know a weapon's about to be put in, because he can't grab onto me. He can't use his hands. If he uses his hands, he's going to let go. Then I'm just going to take his arm.
Sure.
Right? So he's pretty much, his hands are literally tied. Or I'm either going to submit him or he's going to stay here. So I'm using that strategy to be able to stay mobile and then boom, just use a quick front roll to get to the knife and be able to finish it that way. Otherwise, if I wasn't in a submission position, if I wasn't in that armbar position, if I would have just been in mount, let's say, which is still a great position to be if a weapon drops, he still has the ability to just give me a big bear hug, stay attached to me, try really hard not to let me get it. And then there's different strategies that can work at play there. But let's look at Troy and Matt's match here, because this is the last match JWI won, and a gun gets thrown in. And so Troy's on top position on Matt, and this one, the camera angle wasn't necessarily to where you could see the gun really well whenever he shoots the gun, but Troy does get the gun. I think that it jammed. We had an issue with the button for the mag release being a little too big, so I actually took that button off. So now you actually have to press inside of it pretty firmly to be able to get the mag to come out. So I think we'll have a lot more success. But there we had Troy get the gun. Boom. We're at like some kind of jam or slide lock.
Yeah.
But again, we're talking about, this was JWI-1. This was these two black belts, first time to go in suits and with weapons over time. And so we see a lot of people learning how to game the system, how to strategize, how to have some tactics and be able to mindfully get to the weapon. But we see a good exchange of exactly what I just talked about from the bottom. Matt tries to stay connected to Troy. He tries to follow with him because the gun's in there. Look, he's trying to back out. Matt's doing a good job holding on to him, doesn't want to let him get it. And look, that was a really good strategy, to try to pin the weapon down. You know, it just didn't quite go his way, but that was pretty sound tactically. That was a good idea to do that. And then moving on to JWI-2, which is 2 hours. I can't really jump into that video without there being, a big time commitment for skipping through. But what I can say is I think I have a couple of shorts from JWI-2 on here. I'll try to find those so we can talk about a couple of strategies that we ran and we saw done well. Here's Brian and Xander's exchange, which was just like the coolest thing ever. Brian's using his suit jacket, Jason Statham transporter style, trying to defend that knife blow. And if you look, and I'm sorry, Brian, I'm going to have to call you out on it, but if you really look closely, right here, this first little swipe, Xander does a really good misdirect on his swing and comes over the top, and he definitely hits him in the side there. But still, regardless, the spectacle's awesome. He probably could have been able to keep going. He would have had a stab in his ribs for sure. And the rule for us is torso, so with our own rule set, would have been done. But it was fast, and from my angle, I didn't see it well enough to be able to call it. And the crowd was just gigging on it, so let them do their thing. And we see them exchanging with the knife and fighting over it, which was a really cool thing to see. Because in this was like the overtime rule, but without it really being structured how we have it structured now. Because this is their second time to go after it, and we just threw the knife in, and Xander ended up getting it before Brian. And then here we get Brian gets the knife, and it's like, okay, you both stabbed each other. So Xander did a good job playing.
Which
dead
is
there.
important to know in the knife fight. You're probably gonna get cut.
Yeah,
you're probably in. These are, by the way, these are rubber knives. Just so people know. So part of the reason that Brian probably didn't realize he got cut is because the blade flexes. So when Xander came across,
Yeah.
gets down in rib 12, 13.
So what you're saying is we should use a real knife.
We should use real knives. Really, really
joking.
dull knives. No.
You know what I thought about is maybe, I don't think we could do this. I mean, unless there was some kind of a marker that could be seen under a black light that would easily be able to be washed out. Because there's this video on YouTube of this channel has like knife specialists and all kinds of different martial artists, jiu-jitsu guys, karate guys, everybody. And they have these rash guards that are super cool with the organs printed on it.
Yep.
And then they have this marker. And then they look at it under a black light and they can see, I'm pretty sure it's black light, whatever. They can see any of the stabs. Everybody died, by the way. Not a single person survived, even one round with the knife. Like just this regular knife attacker, even the knife specialist, everybody died. So that should tell you everything you need to know. You don't want to be in a knife fight.
Well, dude, 11 people in Michigan cut
11 people.
or stabbed.
Yeah.
11. At some point, I know we keep saying this, but at some point you got to look at somebody and go, okay, it's you and me. Let's go fight, right?
Yeah.
That, like, what else? Did you see the thing on the plane the other day, the Al Akbar deal?
No, I didn't.
So this guy gets up. I don't even know what was going on. He was something, death to Trump, death to America, Al Akbar on a plane.
What?
Yeah. And this dude got up out of the seat and just, it was over.
Man.
Yeah. On a plane. You're in a tube.
Yeah.
Going
Sneeze tube.
500 miles an hour, 5 miles above Earth, and you start screaming Allah Akbar.
Yikes.
I wouldn't.
Not on my plane,
I
buddy.
wouldn't jump up and scream jelly beans. I would not jump up and start screaming anything.
Yeah, that's pretty dumb.
You're if at a bare minimum you're going to get focused on, and you start screaming death to America on a plane.
Not a smart move, buddy.
I cannot believe the guy lived. I'll be honest with you. That is one of those things right there. When somebody says, "Well, what would you have done?" I've been like, that would have been lights flipping out. Because one, you have no idea what's happening. You have no idea what he's brought. You don't know the circumstances. All you know is he's jumping up and he is saying something that is synonymous with "I want to kill everybody."
Wow.
And at the end of the day, it is like that. It doesn't get any more evil than that. And on top of it, you're in a tube going 500 miles an hour. So again, I know I say it all the time. It's the world we're in, and we try to showcase this stuff. And what you did a great job here is getting into a position. So if this was in real world and you were out on the street, you got to get yourself into a position, one, to incapacitate the other person, or get away, or be able to get to something that weapon-wise that is going to help save your life.
Yeah.
And so that is what's so great about these matches, is because you have guys that are, legit. I mean, both Xander and Brian are legit. Rolling with either one of them, they're beasts.
Both work at DCF Guns whenever they're not at their other jobs. Brian is a military. He's the guy I was talking about. He travels with the military shooting competitively. But DCF's actually going to be sponsoring this. They're bringing their banner today.
Oh, very nice.
So they're going to be sponsoring, which is cool. We got a couple new sponsors to announce. But here's the knife highlight video. There's some stuff even to break down from the knife highlight. So here we have Danny and Guy. Guy's a world champion in jiu-jitsu.
Right.
And their match, Guy was winning. He took Danny down. He was on top of Danny, but he tried to stand up. And this was clipped a little short of that just to keep it fast-paced. But Danny grabbed hold of Guy's suit jacket. The rules in JWI, you can take your suit jacket off. You can use it against your opponent.
Right.
Danny took his off like in the very beginning. Guy did not follow suit. And we see how this strategy paid off for Danny, because Guy didn't have much to grab onto. But now at the very end, Guy was on top of Danny. The knife gets thrown in. Guy goes to stand up, but he has his suit on.
Yep.
And Danny's holding on to his suit. And you hear Guy in the video. It's the funniest thing ever. He says, "My suit, my suit." He's got his Portuguese Brazilian accent. And so Danny uses that to pull himself up as Guy's stepping away from him. And then here we have Danny still attached to him. And then right now you're going to see a shove at the last minute, boom, so that he shoves him out of the weapon range. And then Danny
smart.
gets the knife. And so that was a very good strategy to get that weapon and be in control of the pace and be in control of the spacing between the weapon.
Right.
And then we have Brian and Xander. We already saw that highlight. This is just a shorter clip, just showing them with their exchange with the knife here. But then we have a couple of others after this. We've got, I think, there's Evan and Jesse's match. It was under the cowboy hat. That was some funny extra flair there. But Evan being on top, he was just in position to be able to go. And then we've got here Kieran and Trey. Kieran was on top position, was able to get to the knife. And that was it for the knife highlights. But I know that we have the gun highlight video on shorts as well, and that'll be a fun one to look through. Just as we're wrapping up this episode, we'll end with the gun one and talk about some of the tactics that we saw from the last one there as well.
Get the gun offline, by the way.
Get what?
Get it offline. Whoever pulls, we said earlier, if somebody pulls a knife, create distance. Somebody pulls a gun.
Oh, get it offline.
Yeah, get it offline.
Meaning being on the internet, I thought you were talking about the internet. I thought you were like, hey, YouTube doesn't like guns, so get the gun off there.
No, that's funny. No, if somebody's pointing a weapon at you, you want to get the
close the distance with it offline.
Yeah, get that muzzle away from your body if at all possible.
So here we have mine and Troy's match here, and I was on top turtle. That was an interesting one, being on top turtle. Turned. I think that's one of the more important things that might seem a little less talked about, but very important. If you know it's in there, you got to turn. You see how I turn the head? You got to know where it's at. Knowing where it's at and where you're at relative to where it's at, it's very important. And so we did that, and then we see that gun kill there. And then I think we have a couple extra. Yeah, here we go. This is DeAnthony with Ricardo. And then we saw this one, they just wouldn't stop. They wanted to just go after
it. They kept going.
Then we have Rishi with Mendelsberg here. Rishi with Mendelsberg, and there's his gun kill, and he does a little pistol whip there at the end. It's nice. Here we go. We had Matt and Chris's match. This was awesome. And that was an interesting one because it was like a scramble, and Chris fell on his back. And then we have Matt. And then watch this. He wipes the gun. This was cool.
Takes the prints off it. That's great.
Yeah, that was awesome, man. But definitely some really interesting strategies that we have to be able to look at. And we have to look at this because this video did really well, went viral. A couple people shared it and still got a couple million views. Here's this flying arm bar that went viral from JWI-2. Here's Aaron, who's unfortunately not able to make this card. This time he's going to be out of town, but hopefully we see him on JWI-4. Just a beautiful example of jiu-jitsu. That was a slick arm bar, perfectly executed flying arm bar.
It really was. And watch him come up. Show him when he let it play through to where he jumps up. You tell me, you watch his excitement.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
look at that.
He was
raw emotion there.
And here's the guy that got beat. He's like, "Are you kidding me?
I can't believe that
just happened."
I set myself up for that. You can see his arms extended, pushing him pretty hard on it. So that's bound to happen. But yeah, talk about like that was the fastest submission that we've had so far. I think second behind that is Brian Sparrow's rear naked choke whenever they did the main event at the end of JWI-2. But man, that arm bar was just spectacular. And then we come into the gym the week after, and what does everybody want to work on?
All the kids.
We want to learn flying arm bars, please.
All the 12-year-olds are like, "Hey, professor." That, and you know what? That was not only was that executed almost flawlessly. Everything about it was great. His enthusiasm was great. It actually, that crowd in that moment went.
Oh, it erupted.
It just erupted.
That was perfect because it just made the energy in the room just double what it already was. And all the matches to follow that where everybody was just so amped up. It was eyes were glued. Nobody's blinking. So that was awesome. Shout out to Aaron on that armbar. Yeah. And shout out to Lucas for being on the receiving end. That was a show. Thanks, boys. That was awesome.
So good. So good.
Well, we've got a lot to look forward to, a lot that's going to happen this weekend. JWI, again, on Saturday. Tune into the live stream. Subscribe on YouTube. And then on Monday, if all goes well, we're planning to have our wives on to the show on Monday. Yep. So that's coming up here soon. That'll be fun. And a lot of exciting stuff happening.
Are you scared?
To have my wife on?
Yeah.
A little bit. I just hope she doesn't call me overly critical or anything like that. Inside joke for the listeners out there.
Jana said to me last night, she goes, "Are we doing this Monday?" I said, "Yeah." She goes, the first thing this is my wife. She's like, "Well, what are we going to talk about?" I'm like, you don't get to know what we're going to talk about. Are you kidding me? We're just going to roll with it.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be a super lighthearted. I mean, who knows? We might get into a couple deep subjects, let the gals run with it. But I have a feeling they're going to take over the show.
Oh, no doubt.
I mean, it's just you and 100%. I just sitting over here just going, here we go.
We're probably going to get kicked off the podcast. Yep. They're going to be in here recording after us now.
Yep. What does your wife always say? I'm a strong, confident, independent, strong independent woman.
Yeah.
Except around fire hydrants.
I
know. Cold blood. Hey, but to be fair, I did it the next day.
That's true.
I did.
That's crazy.
Poor Sarah. That was irony with an irony.
For those who don't know, I won't even say.
No. We'll talk about it Monday.
There you go. Yeah, we can talk about it Monday.
Let her give her a chance
to defend herself. Love you, babe. All right. Anyways, we're gonna close this episode out. It's been a great conversation and a lot to look forward to.
Yep.
But we'll close this one out. Lord, thank you for another opportunity to sit down, have a conversation. Thank you, Lord, for all that you've continued to do for us. We ask you, Lord, as we have these events that we're looking forward to coming up, that you would let your presence and your will be in all of them. I pray that you'd keep all the competitors safe this Saturday. I pray, Lord, that you'd help us all to have a good time. And I pray, Lord, that you would let the Rock Jiu Jitsu team continue to glorify you and bring eyes to you, attention to you in every way that we can, Lord. It's all about you. And I pray for this episode and the episodes that are to come. I pray for myself. I pray for Micah. I pray, Lord, that you'd let us continue to be strengthened to be who you're calling us to be and do what you're calling us to do. And I pray for every listener out there, Lord, that you would encourage them, comfort them, let them find peace in you wherever they are right now. And I pray for your help in all of our situations, everything that we're going through, Lord. Let us know that you're never afar off from us. I thank you for your presence in our lives. And we leave everything in your hands. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
All right, bro. Until next time.
Until next time.